Well, good morning, my friend, and it is good to have you along this morning. Welcome to the Pastor's Podcast. Good to have you with me today. I had a great evening service last night here at our church on Wednesday night. Of course, we did Wednesday night Bible study. I changed it up just a little bit, been doing something on finances, but because we had some snow and ice, I knew the crowd would be down just a bit. I changed my Bible study over to on how to prepare yourself for a big day or for a campaign or something, anything like that. And I put that up on my YouTube channel. So if you'd like to listen to that Wednesday night Bible study, you can go there or to the church website. I put them up, that Bible study up on both sites. And I'd encourage you, whether you're in our church, Maranatha Baptist Church, or some church around the country, even the world, I'd encourage you to listen to the sermon. It'll help you to help your church to have a big day or a big meeting, whatever is going to happen. I'd encourage you to be there for that. And then, of course, we're looking forward to a good weekend here, seeing what the Lord can do. And I also want to invite you out to the Old Paths Conference. We're looking forward to that here at the Maranatha Baptist Church, waiting for God to do something mighty here. Just a little a little under 4 weeks, and we're going to be starting the conference. I'd encourage you to register now and be a part of it. I want to say good morning to two of my church members, Brother Weiss and Miss Karen. Good to have you along this morning as we here on the Pastor's Podcast. I hope that you all stay warm in the cold weather. It is cold. I took a walk this morning, doubled up on everything. It was cold outside, but had a good time of prayer and walking with the Lord outside, just being God, and that's always a good thing to do. I want to read to you this morning, though, from 1 Samuel chapter 30 and verse 6. I want to talk to you about the danger of grieving. It says, "And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and for his daughters. But David encouraged himself in the Lord his God." David and his men were greatly distressed because of their wives and the children being taken captive. The possessions that they lost didn't mean anything to them without their family. A home is empty without your family. Your money's really, what's it worth without your family? And in this time of grieving, these men nearly made a very rash decision that they would have regretted later on. And it would have changed the course of history forever. Everyone at some point in their lives is going to grieve. Now, one of the main times of grieving is when you lose a loved one to death. Now, you've got to be very careful while you go through the grieving period because of many dangerous decisions and responses you can make that are a result of grief. Now, many have made a lot of detrimental decisions or destructive responses while grieving that could have been avoided had they not let their grief dictate their response or decision. I want to give you some cautions about how to beware, what to beware of when you're grieving. First, know that your feelings will be short. You can easily say things while you're grieving that you don't really mean because the grief it hurts. Now, you have to acknowledge that your feelings are short. You got to look at yourself. I'm going to be short today. And you've got to be careful about everything you do and say while you are grieving. Don't say something you're going to regret later on. Second, everyone's not going to understand your grief, my friend. I know we wish they would, but they're not. One of the things that will frustrate you is that people seem to move on in their life while you are still grieving. Now, many times people say things that you can take wrong, but you cannot let their lack of understanding of your grief cause you to get angry and lash out at them, be out of anger because they said something or they did something that you didn't agree with. Third, be measured in your responses while grieving. Now, my caution to you is to be very slow and very deliberate while you're in that grieving period. Be careful with what you say while dealing with the pressures of grief. You don't want to say something that you'll regret later on. The multiplicity of decisions that you often have to make in a time of grief places tremendous pressure on you. And you must be deliberate with everything you do so that your time of grief doesn't become a time of destruction. Fourth, be careful with your decisions while you are grieving. Many have made detrimental decisions while they're grieving. Now, don't make life-changing decisions while your decision maker is broken. You be very wise to let your pastor help you and guide you in your decisions while your decision maker is broken because of grief. Fifth, ask the Holy Spirit to be with your spirit while you're grieving. The one who can help your spirit while going through grief is the Holy Spirit. So ask the Holy Spirit to give you grace for your spirit during that day. Ask the Holy Spirit to heal your spirit while of grief. So your spirit's not broken, and so you don't become depressed in life. Sixth, encourage yourself in the Lord. You will either encourage yourself in the Lord and see the bright side of life, or you'll destroy yourself in vices and self-pity while grieving. Now, the Lord is the only help you'll find while you're grieving. Encourage yourself in the Lord. Read the Psalms. Reach the lost. You can live on top of grief if you encourage yourself in the Lord. Your testimony for Christ is greatly enhanced when you deal with grieving properly. Now, my friend, I want you to listen to me. There's some of the times of grief, death, someone's sick, or you're not healthy, or you're under financial stress. Now watch these times of grief. Let your pastor help you. Go to your pastor. Oh, my word. I can't tell you how many times I wish people just come and say, Pastor, can you help me? I don't know everything, but I could certainly help them. I could certainly give them an outlook. I can't change their help them. And do you understand your pastor could help you? Pride and say, I need some help right now. I'm grieving. When someone's the decisions yourself, say, Pastor, can you help me? Your pastor's done so many funerals. Ask them to help you. Stop doing it all by yourself. If your pastor loves you, which I'm sure he does, he'll want to make sure that you have the best funeral possible as you grieve the loss of a loved one. Now, be careful. There's a lot of danger in grief. We can make rash decisions. Horrible decisions that we wish we'd have never made, but you can't undo them once you've done them. So be careful. Watch out for the grief. Don't grieve forever. Move on. But during that time of grieving, be very careful with what you do, my friend. Don't do something you're going to regret later on. I hope this is a help to you. And maybe you know somebody that needs us today. Would you share this with them and let them know, hey, here's something that might help you today in your time of grief? I believe it would. Now, remember today, be good to everybody. Everybody's having a tough time. Have a great day, my friend.